Samantha's Toyota Corolla, one of the struts on the tire went bad. So we went out and said, oh, let's get it fixed. No, let's go to Field Smith Chevrolet and let's go get a brand new Chevy Tahoe. So we go out there and we test drive it. Our mindset wasn't that. I'm thinking, we're not going to go buy a truck right now. We went out to Field Smith, test drove it. Oh, man, it's so nice. It's got leather interior. It's only got 66 miles on it. We need to get it. We need it. We've got 3 kids. We need more room for the kids. Every excuse we could come up with, we came up with it so we could give ourselves an allowance to purchase that vehicle. We bought that vehicle. We paid way more than we should have. At the time, we paid $678 a month on a teacher's salary to buy a truck. Stupid tax. That's what some people will refer to that as. So we had to pay the price for that. Instead of paying $400 to get that wheel, that strut fixed, we went and paid $678 a month for the next 6 years. Thank God, though, we finally sat down and came into agreement. That's going to be a critical thing that you all have to understand. That's why I say it's good to be single. You can only come in agreement with you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. You don't have to get on the same page with somebody else. But Samantha and I, we really fought back and forth with that. And I'll be real, we struggled with that for a while. But we realized, look, if we put our money on a mission, we sat down, we got a budget, we looked at our credit card debt, we aligned that, and we really started targeting those debts, smallest to largest. And we started, you have a few schools of thought on that. Pay them off smallest to largest. Pay them off based on the largest interest rate going down to the smallest interest rate or inverse. You do what works in your house. We decided to go ahead and pay that truck off. So one year, I think it was like April, Samantha and I took, Samantha, who was reluctant about it, I must say, it was a $9,400 check that we decided to take to Power One Financial and pay off our truck cash. That deserves a round of applause. So that was something that was huge for us because it showed us if we put our mind to something, we were able to do that. Now, what I'm going to talk about is the discipline of financial management, because sometimes we think about, I want to get my money on a mission, I want to get on a budget, I want to be able to buy this, I want to travel, I want to go to this conference, I want to be able to start my own business. How are you going to do all of that? Why is doing that important to you? You need to be able to understand that money is just a tool that you can use to help you be successful. It's supposed to do what you direct it to do, not be a ruler over you. So once you start getting that revelation, you're able to walk in your financial integrity and align your vision to your goals. One thing that Brian Tracy said was, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. So if you can discipline yourself to make sound financial decisions, you'll be able to reap the benefits in the long run. Now, social media has kind of tricked us a little bit because it sends us into this dream reality that everything is all peaches and cream. You can go wherever you want, when you want to go there, however much it costs, so what, I'll charge it. How much down, how much a month. And that's not the mentality that we need to come up with, and that's not the mentality that we need to function in when we're talking about being rulers of our money. So based on some insurance statistics, out of there were 100 people that started and entered into the workforce at the age of 21. And I'm going to give you some statistics of what happened to those people by the time that they turned age 65. Thank you. 1 of those people became wealthy. 4 of those people were financially independent. 15 of the people had some money saved. And the other 80 people were broke and living paycheck to paycheck. Where do you want to fall? Who wants to be wealthy? So who wants to have some money put aside? Should you guys want to have some money put aside, or you want to be wealthy? Or do you want to be financially independent? So you have to make that decision today. You have to be willing to make a decision and commit to disciplining yourself to make sound financial decisions. The difference between someone saving $300 a month at age 21 and them making the same decision to save $300 a month from 21 to 65 or from 30 to 65 could be several hundred thousands of dollars. Have several of you heard that before? How many of you have heard that before? You don't have to have 17 businesses to be a multimillionaire. You can be a multimillionaire by saving hundreds of dollars on a monthly basis and starting a budget. By the time you're 65, oh my gosh, 65, dude, No, that's too long. I want to live now. But by positioning yourself to be a multimillionaire by saving hundreds of dollars a month, you're positioning yourself to leave a legacy of financial independence in your family. How many of you could have benefited from several millions of dollars passed down to you by your parents? If you don't want to raise your hand, I'll raise my hand and keep for you. So what I came up with was a little acronym for FOCUS. It's called Fearlessly Overcoming Challenges Using Strategy. So if you can come up with some strategies for how you can overcome, well, let me talk about this first. When you start talking about money, I talked about how it's a tool. You have to develop some goals. They're called SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound goals. Those goals should be goals that you have for your finances. What I didn't tell you was when Samantha and I sat down to talk about how we were going to pay our truck off, we were also saving to purchase a home and pay off credit card debt at the same time. So we were very specific. We wrote down I guess it's like a vision board, but it didn't have pictures. It just had words, scriptures on the bottom, and check box. Vacation. But I understand some people want to use their cards so they can get the points. But I'd rather go and pay cash and not have to worry about that when I come home, right? So those are the types of things that you need to come up with in your mind. We have 3 kids, remember? How can we forget? We just want to remind you that those kids need to go to college one day. It's your priority to make sure that your kids can go to college debt-free so that they don't have to go through the things that you have to go through and invest the same time that you had to invest to become debt-free? Or do they just come out of school and say, Mom and Dad, look, I want a car. Son, I got you. I want a wedding. Daughter, I got you. I need a down payment for my home. I got you. Who wants to be in that kind of position to help their kids? I mean, that changes the game in terms of your trajectory in life. When you can make decisions like that, you're financially independent. You're financially successful. You're on the right track. Now, losers make excuses. Winners make progress. My name is Winford, so I'm automatically a winner. That's always funny. You can make excuses or you can make progress. Okay. So what's my nickname? You guys guess. Guess. What is it? What's my nickname? Winnie. Whoa. Win. That's what it is. That's all I know how to do. So now I want you to ask yourselves these questions. Do you want to be debt free? Yes. Do you want to save for retirement? Yes. Because who wants to work their whole lives? That's not a bad thing. You should probably work for a reasonable amount of time. Do you want to be wealthy? Yes. Exactly. You need to know how you get to that phase. You need to know how you get there. And we want to talk about that a little bit. Some people, they ask themselves these questions, but they don't know the answers. And you need to figure out what your financial priorities are. Is it to send your kids to school debt-free? Is it to be debt-free yourselves? Is it to travel 3 times a year on luxurious 2-week vacations? Is it to go on? I listened to Michael Hyatt on the podcast that he has, and he talks about how he and his wife go on a sabbatical and they leave for 30 days. I mean, I would love to go on a 30-day vacation with Samantha. That would be awesome. So you need to, if that's a priority, I mean, you can't go on a 30-day vacation and have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. If that's how you think, your priorities might be out of order. Your money problems will not fix themselves. You need to be able to be intentional and deliberate about how you're spending money. When you fail to be intentional or consistent, you default into a mindset where you take the path of least resistance. And that path of least resistance is you living a life without restraint. That means that you're doing whatever you want to do. You're spending your money however you want to. You're eating out 17 days a week. You're not making it a priority to cook. You're not planning ahead in the week. Now, your money is always going to tell us what your priorities are. So winning with money is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. It's going to come down to what you're making your priorities. What are your needs versus your wants? So I really, really, really wanted to buy some new clothes for our kids. But you have to be able to go and pay cash for those things. So you have to be able to plan. Everyone knows when school shopping has to happen. Everyone knows when Christmas is coming around. Hopefully you guys have already started saving. We start talking about that in July. Okay, what are we going to do to budget for Christmas shopping? What are we going to do to budget for our trip to Tennessee for Thanksgiving? And so you should be able to create in your budget. How many of you have a budget? Just raise your hand. How many of you follow that budget? That's the bridge. The discipline is the bridge. So you have to take the time and sit down and say, I have these goals. I want these are the things I want to accomplish. These goals, these accomplishments. These goals, these accomplishments. Discipline is the only thing that's going to connect the two. If we didn't have the discipline to save for our home, we wouldn't have been able to save the almost $15,000 we were able to save. $18,000? Okay. We wouldn't have had the discipline to pay off over $5,000 in credit card debt in the same season. So when you add that up, 15 plus 8 plus 5, that's a lot of money. And so imagine if you didn't have the debt that you may have. I'm not saying everyone has debt, because everyone doesn't. But if you eliminated the debt and you looked at your budget and you calculated, this is how much I'm making on a monthly basis in monthly payments to my credit card debt, or to any debt in general, my car payment, my mortgage, my credit cards, my student loans, whatever it may be. If you calculate those numbers, sometimes that can be as much as little or as much as $500. What could you do with an extra $500 a month? You can save for that vacation to Hawaii. You can save for that vacation to Vegas. You can save for that vacation in that 7-day cruise or that 2-week cruise. You can save for you like fashion. Is New York Fashion Week this week or something like that? I've seen that a lot on Instagram. You can go up there and not have to worry about how much it costs, because you have the money available to explore and invest in yourself and enjoy those things. Strength doesn't come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. Money, managing your money and having a discipline isn't going to be easy. There are many times when I want to go out to eat, Samantha always says, babe, let's go to Benihana. And I'm like, no, that's $120 you're going to spend to eat, and I can use that for something else. So it looks like, I'm frugal, I'm militant, it may appear that way sometimes. And like I talked about with social media, you see all of these people with all of these grandiose plans, you see them taking all of these amazing vacations. However, you don't know what they're coming back home to. You don't know how they paid for that. You don't know the story behind how they're doing what they're doing. So you have to commit to saying, you know what, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what other people are saying. I'm going to commit to my goals. I'm going to be disciplined, and I'm going to see the results. Because everybody that's talking along the way are going to be the same people that come back later on and say, hey, bro, I'm so proud of you, man. You guys actually committed to that, and you did it. Now, I need to talk to you so I can know how y'all did that. So, and that's actually happened. So, I don't care. Call me cheap. Call me frugal. Call me this. Call me that. I could care less. Because at the end of this, my kids are going to graduate, and they're going to say, Dad, listen, I need a house. Here's 40 grand, son. Mom, I need my wedding paid for. Here's 40 grand. I have coworkers that I work with. This lady paid for 2 weddings in 1 year, $35,000, both cash. I mean, and she don't look like us. So how many of us are going to be able to grow up one day, and I'm 31, how many of us are going to be able to grow up one day and say we can do that for our kids? We want to be in that position to be able to leverage our kids' financial independence with our ability to give them room to make mistakes and learn. That'll save them a bunch of time. So I'll go back to my original statement. It's not going to be easy. If you're married, it may take some time for you and your spouse to get on the same page. Therefore, you have to take the time to sit down. What are our goals, babe? Okay, you don't want to talk about it now? Let's talk about it later. When would you like to talk about it? Before you go to sleep? When you get up? In the middle of the day? I'll write my vision down. What do you think? Think about this. This is what I'm thinking. What are your plans? What are your thoughts? It's annoying, but one day your spouse will wake up and say, hey, listen, that's a really good idea. I think I want to do this. I think I want to do that. I'm in agreement with you. Let's go for that. And so I was talking to my buddy on the phone. You think about a car. A car has two wheels on each axle. How could that car move if there wasn't a wheel, if there was one less wheel on the axle? It could move, right? Right? It could. It would tear up the ground in the process. You do more damage than good to the wheel and to the axle, and it's going to take more to fix it than to maintain it by going in the same direction. But when you got those 2 wheels going in the same direction, it's impossible to stop that momentum unless you actually press the brakes. the same thing happens with your discipline. As you're building the bridge to bridge the gap, I mean, nobody starts building a bridge. Well, some people do. You start building a bridge and just stop. You'll never reach your accomplishments. You'll never be able to accomplish your goals. You have to commit to the process, no matter how hard or challenging it may be. How many of you see yourselves like this? That's how I see myself, like that. Like and so you always have to keep a picture like this in the back of your mind or in the front of your mind as you're going through this whole process. Dang, I need to get a budget. Okay, I got a budget. Now I need to follow it, man. Listen, I'll follow it next month. No, the more time you waste following it is the more time you lose in building wealth. So it's an opportunity cost that you have to count up, and you have to determine, is it worth me losing the money to be able to experience my immediate gratification or immediate pleasure? Or do I want to be able to put off what I have right now and the gratification for now for a greater reward later and living like this guy in this picture? I'm willing to make the short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. And this is what Samantha and I will talk about. Why wouldn't I sacrifice 2 years of working to become debt-free when I have the next 45 years to enjoy my life? Right. Yeah. Is that fair? I mean, the life expectancy for women is 77, 78, 79, somewhere around there. Okay, so Samantha's 30. Yeah, she's that old, however old she is. Okay. So you think about the fact that if life expectancy, she's got at least another 50 years to live. I mean, what's 2 years out of 50? That's nothing. So you think about the short-term sacrifice that you can make starting today to have a long-term impact. How many of you could benefit from learning how to, create a budget? Could anyone learn from that? How many of you could benefit from learning how to have the discipline and the strategies of organizing items on your budget to make sure that you're focused and you continue to carry that out? Just raise your hands. You guys can benefit. And how many of you are willing to invest in yourselves to make sure that you can make the progress that you need to make to accomplish your financial goals? That's good. And we've worked with some people in the room. They've experienced some success with our Money on a Mission program. We want to make sure that we give you guys an opportunity to sign up to enjoy our program, invest in yourselves. It's a network of individuals that collaborate and work together. We used to have conference calls, but we've transitioned and changed the format of our program where we meet with you face to face because we thought that it would be more beneficial. We said that it would be an hour and a half for 4 Saturdays, 4 days out of the month. And we'd be able to really sharpen your focus, really cover what's your why, meaning what are your financial goals, how can you take action steps to accomplish those goals, and then we talk about how you can create a budget to make sure that you're able to then devour debt, and then we talk about how you can invest to make sure that you're successful with your money. Ludi, did you benefit from your budget?
Yes, I feel rich.
So we sat down. I hate to call Ludi out like that, but I know we sat down with Ludi for a considerable amount of time. What was it, like 2 hours?
It was about
7 hours. So we took time out and we sat with Ludi and we showed her exactly how she could maneuver some things in her budget and her monthly payments so that she could have more money so she could accomplish her goals. Money on a Mission, when I think about it, I actually think about this dart hitting the bullseye. If my money isn't hitting the bullseye, I'm not maximizing what I'm going to put all of my blood, sweat, and tears on the line for. If you're not willing to make your money work for you, then why are you working so hard for it? Wow. So you've got to be able to take advantage of your money and leverage your time to make money. And like I said, you don't have to have 75 businesses. Everybody isn't an entrepreneur. However, we do have a market. And I listened to this guy. He said, listen, if you invest in mutual funds over the course of the market, its ups and downs, you will on average experience a 12% return. I mean, that's a lot of money. My money making money while I'm asleep, and I can be a millionaire by doing that over the long term. But you got to first get yourself in position to have the money to invest so you can become wealthy. Okay? All right. please feel free. Please feel free to visit our table. If you are interested in grabbing one of our flyers, the program is $77. That's almost half the price of what it usually is. It's usually $147 for the 4-week program. You'll be a part of a Facebook group, and you'll have access to Sam and I face-to-face for an hour and a half, 4 times a month. Please sign up. It's going to benefit you. We'll share more about our story, and you'll have an opportunity to benefit from some of the things that we've learned. It doesn't always require from you to learn by experience. Sometimes, we have the Bible, and the Bible tells us stories about what you should and shouldn't do, how you have faith, you follow God's plan, and guess what? You'll experience the rewards and the benefits of that. Why not learn from us how you can benefit from the mistakes that we've made? All right? Thank you. Oh, I guess it's time for Q&A. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I have one question for you. Focus. I got definitely.
Fearlessly overcoming challenges using strategy. Strategy is the key. If you don't, you think about the Patriots. I don't know if y'all are ladies. I don't know. Serena Williams. Y'all follow Serena?
Yes.
Y'all know. Y'all looking at me. Who is that? So Serena plays tennis. How many of you all don't know Serena Williams? Just raise your hand. So y'all know Serena?
Yes.
Okay. So Serena Williams doesn't go on the tennis court without a strategy. She has to have a strategy in order to defeat the person that she's playing. Floyd Mayweather has to have a strategy in order to win. Floyd Mayweather doesn't step into the ring and say, listen, man, whatever happens, happens. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. No. When you don't have a budget, when you don't have a financial plan, you're basically saying, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. When you come up with a budget and you create a plan, you say, I will win, and I command the things that I want to come to me. It's called a law of attraction. The things that you are doing will attract more of the things that you are doing.
That's right. I like that.
All right? Thank y'all. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
What happens if you cannot attend one of the 4 sessions?
We'll make it up for you.
You make it up?
Yes, ma'am. And then we're also going to work to try to make these, we're working on recording our series so we can have it and sell those as well. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Couponing?
Couponing? Would you like to learn about that?
Do you guys teach that?
Yes, Samantha's an expert with that. What? No, but she said that's something separate. But we can talk about it. If it's a question that you have, we'll definitely strategize with you. Go to Publix. If it's on sale, get it. All right. Thank you. Oh, well, my wife and I won't be here the whole time. I had a death in the family, so if you need to ask us anything, please make sure that during the break you just grab us. Thank you.
You guys give Win another round of applause. Win, right? Not winning. None of that winning business. No winning? Okay, never? Okay. That was great information. You agree?
Yes.
Listen, my philosophy is, okay, I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I'm working, my husband and I were working on finances. My husband isn't here with me today. He's at home with our 5-year-old. That's way too much energy to have in this environment. Y'all were not ready. So somebody had to handle that. And that would have been him. That's his duty for today. But I'm thankful that he always says, okay, babe, go do what you got to do. I don't feel like you're making any money until you get your teeth fixed. No, seriously. Like, you don't have money until you get your dental work done, because that costs a lot of money. So until you can handle your grill, like, right now, I got stuff I need to work on. You understand what I'm saying? Outside, it's peace and love. Outside, it's peace and love. On the inside, it's a war room. I'm just saying. So I may need to handle that, talk to you and Samantha about our budget so I can get my grill right. And then once that's right, I'm coming up financially, because you don't really make no bread until you get your teeth fixed. I'm serious. So think about it. Anybody that you see start from the bottom and now they're here, when they were here, their teeth was ragged. Now that they're here, check out their grip. I'm so serious. You got no money till you get your mouth fixed. Just my philosophy on life.
I'm going to try to restrain myself from saying amen 5 at a time. But since we are in the atmosphere of that already, so I feel comfortable. Amen? Amen. I'm going to try my best not to preach, but to also give you some steps into fulfilling your purpose. How many of us today believe that you have a purpose? Yes? Yes. Okay. How many of you believe that you have a dream? Any dreamers? No? I'm the only one that dreams? Yes? This morning when I was getting ready, I was brushing my teeth, and God said, everybody is a masterpiece, and there is a masterpiece inside of you. However, in order for you to understand your masterpiece, you have to understand who's the master. So if you don't know the master, then your masterpiece would be confused. So once you go back and understand who created you, then you would understand what kind of masterpiece that's inside of you. And I'm like, what? I didn't write that down. So I wrote it down. So again, in order for you to understand the masterpiece that's inside of you, you have to understand the creator. Amen? Because he's the master. Many people will tell you that you're not qualified. Anybody can attest to that? They're going to say that you're not qualified. But when you think about it, they were never giving the authority to qualify you in the first place. Amen. Let me repeat that. Let me repeat that. Many people will tell you that you're not qualified. But when you think about it, they were never given the authority to qualify you in the first place. So many of us are walking around, trying to get qualification from people, trying to get qualification from your master's degree or from your title. But there is no power in these things. The power comes from the person that qualifies you in the first place. Are we getting something? People thought you were nothing. Anybody here? They thought you were nothing because you came from Haiti or you came from Jamaica or, Bahamas. Yeah, man. All right. Give it up for the Porters. So they thought you were nothing just by looking at you. But of course they did. They didn't create you. So because they didn't create you, so they are already thinking that you're nothing. So only the Creator understands the value of its creation. So if you're writing things down, because this is part of my new book coming out, it is titled Revelation. And I'm going to give you some quotes. So if you're going to post these quotes, make sure you put my name in. Only the Creator understands the value of his creation. And this morning I came to tell you this. Creation is missing something. It is missing you. Creation is missing something, and it is missing you. Ooh. Try not to preach that one. So we talked about fear. Let's talk about fear. How many of you, when God placed something inside of you, automatically fear comes in? Is it just me? I got a call the other day, and a ministry is asking me to go to Haiti to be the translator for a speaker that's going to speak in front of 80,000 people. And automatically, fear came in. You can't do that. You haven't been in Haiti for so long. You don't speak Creole that good. And I had to go back and remind myself who's my creator. So in order for you to fulfill your masterpiece, you have to keep in your mind who created you. So once you keep that in mind, every negativity that comes in the way, you will be able to shut it down. Because many times we allow what people say dictate what we do. You cannot allow what people say, because they're only giving you information. They're not giving you revelation.
Come on.
You see how I'm speaking? I'm trying not to preach it. People will always tell you, well, this is what I went through, so because this is how I went through it, then you will not be able to do it. Well, you didn't get the revelation I got. You probably just saw someone doing something and you say to yourself, oh, I could do that. See, I don't do things based on what I saw. I do things based on what God showed me. Amen. So whatever God is showing me, that's what I do. And when I do it, I know that I'm going to get success. Yes? Yes. Okay. So fear. Fear will come in every time you're trying to step out to do something greater. Fear will not mess with you if you're doing the norm. If you're doing the norm, the normal things, fear will not come in. But right when you step out to do something greater, something bigger than you, fear comes in. You see, what I've noticed is that I don't want to do something that I can do. I want to move myself out the way and let God do something through me that only He can do. Because if I could do it, we don't need Him. So we need to stop trying to do things that is so normal. Because if you came here, you paid your money, you're not normal. You're trying to go in another level. But many times people don't want to invest in themselves, but they will invest in, like we were talking about, food and everything else. No wonder why we are excited. Maybe you're not putting enough God in circle around the desert. So God did not give you a dream. Listen to this now. God did not give you a dream for you to have goosebumps. He did not give it to you to say, ooh, I had a dream. God gave it to you so you could do something with it. So if you're writing that down, write that down. God did not give you a dream for you to have goosebumps. God did not give you a dream to show you how great He is. God did not give you a dream to show you how great He is. He's already great. He gave you a dream to show you how great you are. That's why He gave you the dream. So many of us, we have dreams, we have visions, but we have not answered the call yet. Yes. We need to answer the call, because when God gives you a revelation, He always confirms it. Yes. And many times He's confirming it with a dream, and you're like, well, I don't know about that. No, He gave you the dream, He gave you the vision to go and do something about it. So we have to get up and answer the call. What are some practical steps we can take to answer the call? The first step, you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. Every day you cannot wake up saying you this and you that. You're unstable. You can't be unstable when you're stepping out the boat. You can't do that. So today, I'm going to do this. Today, I'm going to do that. Today, I've seen people, every year they have a new business. Every year. Of course you're not going to succeed. You notice this person does that. Oh, I could do that too. Yes. No. There's a gracing for everything that God has given you. So there are certain things you don't have a grace for. And you're wondering why so many people are succeeding in that area and you're not. So you have to get revelation of who you are so you can step out and fulfill your purpose. I was telling a few people when I was saying, the reason why you are upset or frustrated at my gift is because you're not figuring out your gift. So we are looking at other people's gifts and we're like, oh, you want to do that, and you're frustrated. No, it's time for you to put some time in to develop you. This is what this is all about here. The masterpiece in you. What is it? Because it's too many times people are doing what they see others doing. God said to me, if you follow others, you would get the same result that they get. But if you follow me, you're going to get the results I give you. So because I don't want your result, I'm not going to follow you. You see that? So if I follow you, let's say I looked at you and say, you lost 20 pounds? I want to lose 20 pounds. So you do exactly what she did. But if you want to lose 30 pounds, you can't do what she did. You have to do something else. This right here is for some people. You have been given authority to rule over the earth. If you are out of order, you will not be able to rule.
Word. Word. Say that again.
You have been given authority to rule over the earth. But if you are out of order, you will not be able to rule. Wow, it's quiet right now. You guys okay? That's what I got. When I had to write it down because I'm like, this, I don't know where this comes from. I mean, I know where it comes from, but I know it's not me. You have been given authority to rule women, men. But if you're out of order of the person that gave you the authority, you would not be able to rule. That makes so much sense to me. So we have to remove the fear. We have to know who we are. The more you do, the more of you that you do, the more of you will come out. The more of God that you do, the more of God will come out. So if you don't see God in you, maybe you're not putting enough God in you. Know who you are. Many people, they want to fulfill purpose, but they have an identity crisis. They don't know who they are. Once you change the identity that the Creator gave you, you cannot rule.
Say it again.
Once you change the identity that the Creator gave you, you cannot rule. You can only rule in the identity that He gave you. So who God called you to be? Be that. You're going to be successful in that. Are you guys writing? Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Good stuff.
You can only walk in power and authority that God gave you if you define yourself in the identity that He gave you. Because in the world today, everybody is changing. Even in school, kids are going to be this, kids are going to be that. We have women want to be men. We have men want to be women. You can't rule on earth. You probably could rule in your house. You probably could rule in your little piece right here. But I don't know about you. I want to rule over the earth.
That's right. That's right.
God has placed authority inside of me to rule wherever I go.
Wherever you go. Yes.
So wherever I go, I must rule that. But in order for you to do that, you have to be in God's order. So you have to know who you are. The second step, you have to listen to God, not your culture.
Hey, come on now.
You have to listen to God, not your culture. Because your culture will say, we don't do that.
Yes.
Nobody in your family have done that. Where are you going with that? They don't acknowledge your gifting. So you cannot rule, or you have to listen to God, not your culture. And sometimes people are going to get upset at you, even your family members. They're going to say that, oh, you're rejecting us. Well, I would rather reject you than reject God. God said to me, if you are so busy trying to figure out what your culture is doing, you're going to lose out on what God is doing. You're going to miss out. Wow, I'm getting something myself. Culture is like an elevator. It goes to the same place every time. And when you reach the highest level, it has to come down. But when you get a revelation, it goes beyond. You need to get a revelation of who you are. And once you do that, there are certain things you won't do anymore. There are certain places you won't go anymore. There are certain clothing you won't wear anymore. There are certain relationships you won't get into anymore. Because now you are developing the masterpiece that's inside of you.
Words.
Culture. Are you guys still writing? I'm trying to find something else in culture. You have to be willing to take criticism to fulfill your purpose. Many of us are afraid of being criticized. You're afraid. You're afraid of not being normal. Well, I'm sorry, you're not normal. You're not. Because your creator is not normal, so you cannot be normal. So many of us, we're not willing to step out because we want to follow what our culture is doing. Your father and your mother says to you, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a doctor. If you're not one of these things, then you're a disgrace. Where I don't want to be these things. That's not what's inside of me. Jesus was a carpenter. You guys know that? Yes, he was a carpenter. He used to fix doors. He used to make chairs. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Because his what? His father was a carpenter. So he was following his father's footsteps. But while he was doing that, he felt that something greater was inside of him. So he stepped out of the culture and the norm and saved the world. Many of you, you could save your whole family if you step out the norm. See that? So today, if Jesus didn't do what he did, he would be the greatest carpenter in the world. Because he would be doing things that he only what he sees in heaven. But many of us, we have to be able to step out and be what God called us to be. Okay. So we have to listen to God, not your culture. We have to be bold and don't shy away from the calling. Be bold. If that's what God said, then you do it. That's what God said, do it. You will experience failures in this journey. That's where tough skin comes into play. You will experience failure in this journey. So now, when I spoke to Chrisnatha, she wanted me to give you guys my journey. So I'm going to start with the quotes because I think I'll give you enough. You're going to have to get the book when it comes out. That book started one night and I couldn't sleep. And God was just downloading things in me and I had to get up and write. And when I woke up in the morning and I saw what I've written, and I'm like, there's no way I could have come up with that. There's no way. I would never take credit for what God is doing. Never. I don't like people to tell me something that they have not lived. Don't just give me information about something. What have you been through? So you have to be bold and don't shy away from what God is calling you to do. Everybody here is being called to do something. The thing is, you are afraid to step out because you don't see nobody else is doing it. Yes, that's why God's giving it to you so you can be the first one to do it. So, failures. A few years ago, I was a teacher at Board Anderson High School. BA. And kids came to my classroom and did nothing. And I said, something is wrong with that. As a black male, 95% of my kids that came to my class were black. Why would you come to class and do nothing? And they said to me, you don't care about us, Mr. Sherry. All you want us to do is do your work so you can get a bonus for the FCAT. I said, okay, since you don't want to tell me what's going on with you. I want you to write it to me. So they started writing to me what was going on in their lives. This is why I came to class and did nothing. So I started reading their stories, and I started to cry. And I went home one day, and my wife was like, "What is wrong with you, you tall man?" And you're crying. And I gave her the letters. And she said, "These are the kids that you are serving every day?" I said, "Yes." "What are they doing to help them?" I said, "Nothing. Because we have to teach them from bell to bell." Meaning, if this is a reading class, the hour that you have them, you have to teach reading. And if it's a math class, you have to teach math. And if a kid comes to you with social issues, you send them to the counselor. But there is one counselor for 2,000 plus kids. Something was wrong with that. So every day, 10 minutes of class, we talked about relationship. We talked about finance. We talked about bullying. We talked about identity. We talked about being accepted. We talked about reputation. We talked about failures. And every day they came to class and they sat there and they listened and they talked and they wrote. One day I looked at my class and I noticed some people was not on my roster. I'm like, "What y'all doing here?" "Oh, we heard." We heard. I'm like, "Wow." I'm like, thank you, but you gotta go to class. So that year, 75 to 80% of my kids graduated. So, 7 minutes. So they was asking me, "What happened? What did you do?" I said, "I don't know." So the whole summer I'm like, "What did I do?" "Oh, I talked to them. I spoke their language." So I started writing what I saw. I started writing the experiences that I noticed in the school system, the kids, the struggles. And then I'm like, wow, after a few years, I'm like, I need to turn this to a book. Nobody in my family have ever written a book. Oh, let me say that again. Nobody in my generation, from father, grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, nobody have ever written a book. So there's times God will give you a dream and you were trying to find a pattern to follow. But there is no pattern. You know why? Because the new pattern starts with you. It starts with you. So I said, "God, well, since you want me to write this book, I'm going to go and look at other people's books, materials, and see how they've done it." He said, "No. Because if you do that, then you're going to look and sound like them." So I stepped out to write this book. Right when I did that, I lost my job. Failure comes with you fulfilling your purpose. Yes. I don't know if you could take that. Failure comes. Actually, failure is part of your purpose. Look at the Bible. Everybody has failed. Every last one of them that you talk about today. Paul, David, Saul, Moses, all of them have failures in their lives. But many times we run away from failures. So I'm like, "Lord, you calling me to do this book and now I'm fired?" First time was my fault, but the second time, I don't know about it. I'm like, I don't got a job. And then my wife got pregnant. I don't know how that happened. And then, yeah, I don't know what happened. Y'all stop laughing. I got 4 minutes. And then, that was the time with the foreclosure thing. And then our house went into foreclosure. I'm like, what is this? You remember, the devil will not mess with you if you stay normal. You will not. Right when you step out to do greater, his antenna goes up. No, I got to keep her down. I got to keep him down. As long as you're doing normal things, whatever. But now you set out to change lives? Oh, no, we can't have that. So we lost the house, lost my job, and then I had to move in with the in-laws. In-laws. And I remember I so ashamed. It was the worst time in my life. I was so ashamed. I can't provide for my family. Now I have to move everybody in one room. One room, bedroom, furniture, everything in one room. And then Ryan came. She was in the room with us too. One room with everything. At the in-laws' house. I'm trying not to get emotional right now because I still can remember it. One time something happened and one of the siblings came to me and said, "You are nothing. You stupid Haitian." And then they said, "I don't know why my sister married you anyway." So for 5 years, I took care of your sister. So for one season, things happened. Now I'm not good anymore. That's why we don't listen to people. Because when we're up, they praise you. When you're down, they keep you down. And I remember that day, and I'm like, so every time people came home, I went in the room. It's daytime, I'm in the room. I only came out when it was nighttime, when everybody was asleep. And that's when I was writing. Because that pushes me to write. That's why I say failure is part of your purpose, because it will push you. Because you don't want to stay in that house no more. It will push you out. But many of us, we don't want to go out. We're so comfortable. Ooh. So I was done with the book. 2 minutes. I don't want to be rude to her.
You're fine.
I was done with the book, and then I took the book to the printer. We print the book because I knew that, this was going to work because God gave me the vision. God gave me the vision. It showed me 2 heads. 2 heads. That's why you see there's a boy version, there's a girl version. There's 2 heads. And I said, I'm going to print this book. I gave it to an editor. They edited the book, and I took it. Then I spent my last saving to print the book. 1,000 books. The book came out. The editor messed up the editing process. They run into a program. The program messed up everything. And they didn't tell me that. I just lost $5,000. So now, I have to reprint the books. That's another $5,000. Remember, I don't have a job. I've lost everything. Like she's saying, it's just a setup.
It's a setup. It's a setup.
So, I had a dream, because God dealt with me with dreams. I had a dream. I saw myself going to the bank. Chase Bank, I remember it. I'm like, I like that dream. The next few days, I'm walking to the Chase Bank. I remember my father gave me a check for $80. And I was depositing it in the bank, and I got a phone call. Because I had given my books to the school board, the same people that fired you. And then I said, Mr. Cherry, can you come tomorrow, because we want to place an order for your books.
Wow.
When I was at Chase Bank. And I'm like, wow, so I need to give these people a discount. This is the 5th largest school district in the country. They want to buy your book? So I get there, 9 o'clock in the morning with my suit on, looking all sharp. Mr. Cherry, we like the book, we like what you're doing. At that time, it was just the book. Just the book. Mr. Cherry, we like what you're doing. We want to place an order for your book. We want to place 2 orders. One for 60 books. I'm jumping with joy already. First time author, the school board want to get 60 of your books. I'm thinking diapers, gas, and food. I'm good. And then she said, we want to place another order for 750 books.
Wow.
I
Very
said,
excited for this morning.
what? So, and I said, okay, let me get my phone and give you a discount. This is exact. I'm not lying. This is exactly what she said. Mr. Cherry, we don't want a discount. We want to be a blessing to you. Just like that. So they purchased 750 books at $15 a piece. I went home. Lord said, you're a teacher. Create a workbook. Because kids, you don't want to just give them a book. You want to give them a workbook. So people ask me, how did you have time? I was fired. and I couldn't sleep. How many of you, purpose is just inside of you? You can't sleep. That's why you can't sleep, because it's trying to come out of you. That's why you can't sleep. But you fight yourself and go to sleep. No, get it out of you. Other purpose can't come until you get this one out of you. Ooh, that was a good one. You cannot get other dreams and vision until you do the first one I gave you. So I had time to write the workbook. Workbook for boys, workbook for girls. I took it back to the same people, because sometimes we forget where our blessing comes from. And I said, this is the workbook that I have. Oh, give us 700 of that too. I said, you didn't even read it. She said, whatever you have is good. And I said, well, these are bigger. You're $25 a piece. She said, that's fine. And she just walked. Placed an order for 750 workbooks at $25 a piece. So that month, I made my year's salary in a month. My time is up. So after the whole thing was over, God allowed me to create a whole curriculum where you have the book, workbook for boys and girls, book and workbook for parents, teachers, and mentors, and a curriculum to tell them this is how to do it. How do you have time? He was fired. So, and then she said, Mr. Cherry, why don't you take these books to this department, because you get approved by the school district. That way you could shop it around every school for the whole school district. So I sent it in, and then one day I went downtown and I'm in the elevator, and then who walks in is the person that's going to approve the books. And then he said, Mr. Cherry, did so-and-so purchase your books? I said, yes, sir. Then because she's already purchased it, then your book going to get approved in a week. Yes, it takes 6 months to get your book ready. 6 months to get your book approved. It happened in a week. The reason for that was the lady that bought the book, she sits on the board of the thing that comes to be approved. Many of us, we don't see the end. That's why we don't start. You're not supposed to see the end. So today, it's been 4 years, and the school district of Broward County alone already purchased close to $95,000 worth of books. Wow. Just the school district of Broward County. Now the book is approved by Palm Beach County. We're working on date. However, the book is on the state adoption list for a class for the state of Florida. Whoa, 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 whoa. For the state of Florida. So that's my journey. And then I've created another book, I'm Not Angry, Encouragement, because our kids are not angry. He just wants you to encourage them. So we have that. And then now that I have the process of writing books, it comes easy to me. And I'm not trying to, brag or anything. It just comes easy to me to write it, because I understand how to do it now. So now I have at least 6, 7 books inside of me. I have to get them out to get 6 more inside of me. So today, I hope that I was able to push you to do greater. Because whatever's inside of you, it was placed inside of you for a reason. Why would God put something inside of you just for you to say, oh, God put something inside of me? Many of you are satisfied with just that. God put this inside of me. Yeah, girl. You've been saying it for 10 years. It's time to stop telling dreams and start being the dream. Yeah, you need to write that down. It's time to stop telling the dream and start being the dream. And last thing, and I'm done. It's time to stop telling dreams performed by others. It's time to start telling things performed by you. May God bless you.
Listen. I have an offering plate. I'm going to go ahead and pass that around. Sis, you are beautiful and you are one of God's nuggets of joy. When you're around people, they just want to smile just because of who you are. Don't ever let that get discouraged. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not more than a queen, less than a queen.
That's right.
Important. I got jokes, but I got Jesus too. God keeps trying to push. I don't know, man. He keeps trying to push me into this whole teaching, preaching business. You know, you're like, I got it. And then the man he gave me be like, you gonna preach? And I'm like, shut up. Shut up, dude. That's a testimony and stuff. Give God another round of applause for his willingness to gift. Pastor Robin says, it's wonderful to see a sister and a brother grow in Christ, grow together, and watching you and Alicia and the kids. Now it's just like, wow, we all started in one place and now we're all grown for real. We got families. That's weird. You know what I mean? It's just, but it's awesome to see what God is doing in your life. So I'm glad that we're connected. Connection is powerful. Especially if it's the right connection. You gotta be elevated. You don't want to be connected to a slug, something that's just draining you, that's pulling you down. You want to be connected to things that are gonna make you ascend to where God has called you to be. I'm going to stop because this is not what this is about. Jesus needs to cut that off. I don't know what that is, but I ain't coming for all that. Whatever. But please hashtag I am a masterpiece. I am a masterpiece. Hashtag that. Make sure that you're taking selfies. I know y'all got your selfies already together. Selfies. Anybody take selfies before you mess up your lipstick? Before you mess up the makeup when you go eat, you want to get that before eating selfie, not the after eating selfie. Be a little sleepy on the after eating selfie. We're about to break for lunch in a moment, but we definitely want to make sure we hashtag that. Also, when we come back, we're going to have some little fun activities as well as some check-ins from everyone. I just want to share myself. I want to share this past year, from May last year to May this year, has been the most challenging period in my life. But I want to encourage everyone that is actually tuned in, because the speakers before have encouraged. You know what I mean? It's a very encouraging environment. And what Pastor Robin said, you got to know who you are. Last night I just heard the same thing from a woman of God. Know who you are. I battled with comedy, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Your spoken word, you battle with that. For me, I had a problem where every time somebody called me, going, Chrisnatha called, can you MC? This is what I do, but immediately fear stepped in. Like, oh my God, I gotta do it. I hope she cancels. She gonna cancel. She gonna cancel. Like, no, Jesus, I can't make you cancel the whole event. The girl's been working hard for that, so okay, I'm gonna. That's messed up because I'm scared. I'm gonna ask you to cancel her whole event. So, no, don't do that. But that fear sets in so quickly, and you have to counteract it like immediately. If you don't have the word and the right people around you, you will give up. And when he said that we don't start because we don't see the end, that is so true. You stay in that same zone. I've been doing comedy for a little over 10 years now. I shouldn't. I'm where God wants me.
That's right.
Thank you, Lord. So, in growing to where I'm going next, it's been a challenge. And this past year has been, long story short, I lost a job last year and had to go back to a call center. Do you understand the cultural shock from a grown woman having a career and going to a call center? What kind of jungle is this? People leaving their drawers in the bathroom? Where am I, Father? What is this? Why have thou forsaken me? What is this? Lord God, this is a woman left her drawers on the back of the book in the bathroom. What else did you touch? And now I gotta get out. Why? God, oh why? I was so hurt. I'm just saying, God delivered me from the call center, but Lord have mercy, from December till May. I was at a call center. And then in that time, I was pregnant and I lost a child. That in itself, I'm well now, thank God. To even be able to speak and not break down. My baby's birthday was going to be September 4th. But I am well now because God kept me. But I had a slight moment where I lost it. Like literally, I walked from a call center in Sawgrass. I was going to walk to Oakland in 56. Now women, understand when I say to you, you have to be outside of your mind to leave your job with Sawgrass and start walking. And I made it to Oakland in hiatus.
Her power and by valuing her personal needs. She delved into artistic expression at a young age solely through creative writing and poetry. It was through writing and acting she found her authentic voice. Since then, she has been featured in several productions, renditions, and spoken word expressions. She birthed the art of expression movement in order to teach women to embrace their authentic voice and roar. She also has a website, vickysjoseph.wordpress.com. You guys put your hands together for the next menacing gift of Vicky S. Joseph. How you guys doing? Can I get a hand clap going? On beat. Good luck to you. All right. I'm so excited to be here. I am so excited. We're going to be talking about some great stuff today. All right? Now, what I'm going to be talking about is life 101, right? Life being a crash course. We don't really get a syllabus, right? We don't really get all the directions, all the rules outright. Sometimes we learn along the way. Sometimes we learn from experience. And sometimes, of course, our parents, they teach us the best way they know how. And then we have to learn from there, right? So when we get into this, I would like to say welcome to the real world, right? They told us when we were in school, go to school. When you go to school, you're going to get a good job. Everything is going to work out for you. Everything is going to fall into place. I don't know. Did that happen for everyone here? No. Did everything just fall into place the way they said it would as long as you go to school and you get that job that they said? And what were we rushing for, right? Some of us were rushing. When you were 16, we wanted to be 16. Oh, now we can drive. Okay, now we're driving. Isn't that fun? Now, when you're 18, you're legal. You're able to do certain things that you weren't able to do. Okay, vote. But now you're an adult. Now you have bills and everything else. Okay, and now with those bills, Sally Mae cousin, Navient sending the bills, right? Yeah. We got the bills coming in. Then we have cable bills, everything else. And then, they send us the junk mail that we got to go through. And that fill our mailboxes up, the junk mail that we have. And then when we went to school, they told us to buy these books that some of us we didn't really open. They gave us all these tests. Some of them, we did open them just for that semester. And it's still sitting on a shelf right now. So a lot of us. Now, with that being said, when we step out and do what God calls us to do, it won't be perfect all the time. I want you guys to understand that. The bills are going to come. We're going to have to take care of home. The dishes are not going to wash themselves. The car's not going to wash itself. Those things we have to keep in consideration. Now, we also have to deal with our real issues. Issues from the past, issues in the present, and even plan for the future. That's what it means to be an adult, right? Even though sometimes we feel like we can't deal. But those are some of the things that we have to deal with as an adult. Now, the beauty of growing and becoming who you are in Christ is that there's areas of your life where you're going to be the expert. Okay? You're going to be the expert. You're the top of the class. You're doing your thing, right? And then, you're going to get your diploma. You're going to walk across that stage. You're going to do your thing. Now, in the sense of if somebody cut you off in traffic, back in the day, you would have drove up and meet that person. Oh, what's up? You looking, hey, what you want to do? Right now, hey, you know what? It's not even worth it. We gonna stop at the same red light. It's not even worth it at this point. Now, somebody's going to cut you off when you're waiting in line at the grocery store. Back in the day, hey, you better back up. Now, you know what? They have 2 items. Go ahead. Consider that as you graduating. You're moving on up. You're making a step. So that's a good thing. There are areas of your life. That book you wanted to write, you wrote it now. Right. You made that step. Also, you wanted to have your own event. You did that. That's another step. You wanted to host an event. You did that. So those are good things that you're doing. You're a graduate in that sense. You've graduated to the next level, and that's good. And we want to celebrate those achievements in our life. So those are the things that we want to consider. Now, when I was in undergrad, it was exciting. I met new people, it was HBCU, it was different cultures, and everything like that. The president at the university at that time knew my name, I felt special, and I felt like, yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing what I have to do. But then, when I went to graduate school, it was scary. That's when the real work started. That's where it got scary. So there's going to be areas of your life where you're a scholar, you're doing it. You're in your purpose, you're doing what you have to do. And there's going to be other areas of your life where you have that Achilles heel. Right? You're in graduate school, on one level, you're graduating, you're moving, you're top of the class. And there's going to be other areas in your life where you're in VPK. You're starting from scratch. And those are the things that we have to understand when we're serving God, that you're not going to have it all together. You're not going to have every area of your life lined up perfectly together. It's God, through your weaknesses, He is made strong. So the things that you do know, the things that you are the expert in, share your wealth with people. Okay? So you wrote that book. It's like a light bug. They're attracted to light. So as soon as you're walking in your purpose, there are going to be other people. Well, I want to do what you did. How did you do it? They're gonna latch on, and that's good. Bring those people with you. Add those people into the kingdom of God. Bring them with you, because iron sharpens iron. Okay? So when you're doing what you have to do, you're going to attract other people that want to do it. So I want you to keep that in mind. Teach. You become a teacher. Whatever you accomplish, whatever you've learned, you now are the expert. You now become the teacher. So now teach what you have learned. And with that being said, there's some things that's going to shift in your life. Your relationships and your friends. Sometimes we want to yank people with us. They're not ready to go yet.
That's right. That's true.
And for me personally, I remember certain situations where I would hear some friends say, oh, well, I'm so bored. I wanna do certain things. And I would sit there and write a plan. This is what you're going to do. And I'm going to help you with this. We're going to do this together. And they didn't do it. They didn't do what they didn't do the plan that I created for them. You know what I mean? But I had to understand, after years of trying and giving them the solutions, if they were not ready to take the necessary steps, that was not my fault. I can do what I can, but that's it. And I want you guys to consider that too. When you're walking in your purpose and you're stepping out and you're doing what you have to do, sometimes we feel that survivor's guilt. I made it out. I want to bring these people with me. Why can't I bring them with me? Right? So you feel this survivor's guilt that I made it out and I can't bring these people with me. They will come eventually, but whenever they're ready and whenever it's their season to do it. But what you can still do is invite them. Sometimes they'll see your events on Facebook. Girl, you didn't tell me about it. You didn't invite me. Thanks for the invite. Then you send them one, girl, I'm busy. Okay, well, okay. You know what I mean? Do the best that you can to establish those relationships, but you don't want any blood on your hands. So make sure you do the necessary steps that you have to do in order to be a light in other people's lives. Okay? Do the necessary things. And also, Joyce Myers called it Holy Spirit Junior. You are not Holy Spirit Junior. You want to be everything to everybody. You're not Holy Spirit Junior. And I've dealt with those feelings as well, trying to be everything to everyone. And let people flourish on their own. Before you know it, they're going to have their own ministry. They're going to grow. They're going to do what they have to do. But it's what God wants them to do in their season and in their timing. So when you become the freshman again, and you become the novice, you know, it's a slice of humble pie. Look at it as an opportunity to become humble. Because you're good in this area, and this other area you're not that great in. So what we have to do now is learn. You're a teacher in this area, but you will forever be a student. I don't care what you're good at, you will forever be a student. And it's good to have that mindset, because if you stop learning, you stop growing. So you have to be able to be open to opportunities for growth. And just like when we were in grade school, sometimes we felt like we didn't get picked for the team. So in this area, you're in high demand. Everybody wants you on this side. But this other side, you feel overlooked. Okay? You're giving everybody advice about how to be in a relationship, what to do, and you're still single. Right? You still single. Right? Well, wait a minute. Why not me, God? When is it going to be me? Why? Right? So in those areas, you have the master's degree sitting on the shelf, but you're not using it. But then so-and-so applied for a job last week. They're in there. They're in there. Right? So, but we're doing good. Praise God. We're doing good on this side. But this other side, it's a little thorn right there in the flesh. Right there. And we're really trying to understand what's going on. I'm doing all the steps. I'm at the singles conferences. I'm writing in my journal. I'm getting closer to God. I'm doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? We're doing all the stuff that they said at the conference, that if we did those things, that's what's going to bring Boaz. But Boaz ain't come through yet. Where he at though? I don't know. But we about to shout right now. Okay? But then sometimes we're doing all the things that we have to do. But, certain areas, and you know how to bake, you know how to cook, you know how to do all those things. Some of us, y'all, we still working. But, hey, progress. Not perfection, progress. As long as you're working towards something. We praise God for that. Right? So you feel like, but you in everybody's wedding. But you're not the bride. So there's some things that, we feel like, God, why you ain't picked me yet? Well, I'm the last one to get picked. Oh, well, I'm not even going to get picked. I'm going to just sit on the bench and just wait for my season to come through. And a lot of us, we feel that way. And we can't even see the good things that God is doing because we're so focused on this overlooked area of our life. We're so focused on this area. We don't even see all the great things that God is doing in our lives because we're so focused on what hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? So we have to keep in mind in the present moment and enjoy that, what you have in front of you. Because when you get lost up in that, you miss this season, rush into the other one. And when you do speak to some of the people that have what it is that you're looking for, they have the successful job, but they don't have time to spend with their family. Now you at the house all the time. They might get on your nerves, but hey, you got your family. Right? Oh wow, she has the BMW that you wanted, or whatever the case may be, but she can't afford it. The bills are higher than what she's able to do, or she can't afford it. Let's celebrate that. Right. Thank God that she's able to do that. If he could do it for her, he could do it for me. So we could get excited for what other people have going on in their life, but I understand that feeling of the sense of, wow, like, when is it going to be my turn? And we all go through those feelings. So what we have to do, So the area of your life where you're growing and you're prospering, you feel like you're in control. You can rock that thing. That's great. But the other side, you feel powerless. So when you feel those feelings of helplessness and powerlessness, just surrender. You can't control it anyway. You can't make the job, I don't care how many applications you apply for, you can't make the job come any faster if that's not the will of God right now. So you can't make this guy come any faster by you doing all those things. What's your motive for building these ministries? What's your motive for finding yourself? Is it just to get him, or is it to get your purpose? That's what we're created for. What's your purpose? Why were you here? Why are you here? That's what we should focus on, right? So surrender to it. We can't control anyway, surrender. Then focus on your strengths, whatever you're good at, right? Remember the talents? When God, the display of the talents, whoever had that 10, it was multiplied. Work what you had. Work on those strengths, build those strengths. And those weaknesses, now we gotta lean on God. We gotta lean on God either way. Strengths and weaknesses, because we don't want to become so big to where we don't need God anymore. Because it's your talent, but he gave it to you. And the other side is we need to lean on him in our weaknesses, because he is going to be strong in that, right? We boast in our weaknesses. And get a mentor in the areas, yes, in the areas you need to grow in. Amen, corner. Yes. So we need to get to that place where, okay, well, you're good at this. How can I become good at this? Teach me. And sit at that person's feet. And it's okay. Because that person had to learn from someone else. And then also with humility, if someone comes to you and they want to know how to, what it is that you do or how you did that, don't make that person feel bad, like a failure. Let's say you're a chef and you know how to cook and all this stuff and you bake, and someone's coming to you like, hey, can you teach me that new recipe? You're supposed to be a Proverbs 31 woman. You don't know how to make that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You could create a ministry right there by what it is that you're doing. So don't push people away that see something in you and they want your help to learn how you do it. Okay? And those who want to learn, be open to learn how to do whatever it is. So those are some things to consider when you feel like this area I'm flourishing, but this area I'm not so much. Okay? So we have to consider those things. Has anyone ever had car trouble before? Right? Car trouble. Okay. So when you have car trouble, sometimes you don't even know you have car trouble. That's the thing. You just go in for oil change. That's it. They come back, well, I mean, it's gonna be, you need a new alternator, carburetor, timing belt. Okay, while you back there, bring me a new car. Just come back. By the time you hear all the things that they need you to do, you might as well just bring me a new car. Like you feel like, wow, like this is bigger than I estimate. This is bigger than I thought. Even like when you're washing the dishes, you're cleaning it up, you're doing what you have to do, then somebody comes to the side and lay a little dish in there. Okay, it's one dish. All right. The whole house comes with the dishes and they come bring it in there. You're like, man, I gotta start from scratch. And sometimes that's how our life is. By the time we deal with one issue, there's another issue. By the time you get done with this issue, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. And then we feel like, man, I'm in over my head. I can't take this. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's like whack-a-mole if you've ever been to Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. You hit one, 3 come up. You hit another one, other ones come up, right? And so in the sense of, let's say you're dealing with the low self-esteem thing, you reading your affirmations, I'm a masterpiece, you're doing your thing, here comes self-doubt. All right? Here comes what happened to you in your past. Okay, well, no, God forgave me for that. Well, no, this and that. So now you're fighting this battle in your mind in order to be who God called you to be. And so I will tell you right now, it is not a matter of if a trial will come, it's when. It's coming. Opposition is coming. All of those things are coming. And I want you to keep that in mind. It's not when. It's when. It's not if, it's when. That's what it's about. So when we think about those things, there's something else that's coming. It's an opportunity for us to get closer to God. It's not, we might want to run sometimes, but it's an opportunity for us to get closer to God. It's an opportunity for us to press in and get closer to God. And the closer you get to God, that's when the enemy gets mad. That's when all of these things that you thought, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? That's when those things are going to come, because God is pushing you closer. And the enemy doesn't like that. What? When she was sitting at home watching TV, the housewives and everybody else, it was all good. Now all of a sudden, you feel like you're getting beat down. That's because you're getting closer and closer to where God needs you to be. So don't get discouraged. Don't shrink back. Keep pushing through. Keep going. Keep going. Triggers. Let's talk about triggers. I do believe in deliverance. I do believe, once you let this go, that's it. But can I tell you, triggers are real?
Yes.
Triggers are real. So in the sense of when we talk about, relationships, and you're working on what you have to do, right? You're working on what you have to do. You're working on being content in your singleness. Yeah, the guy at the gas station, hey, shorty, what your name is? It's easy to dismiss him. Yeah, next. It's easy because, what? Or that person has an appearance of godliness, and then when you start talking, you ain't about nothing, go sit down.
Right.
Now, when there's a person now who actually has a heart for God, he's actually pursuing God, he's doing all of those things, now those triggers from past relationships, you pushing me to God? What's really going on? What you really want? You know what I mean? And this person really being genuine. That doesn't mean he's your husband, but he's actually being genuine. But everything from your past, you're bringing it up and you putting it right in front of him.
Right now. Come on.
You deal with this. Actually, ladies, we got to deal with it.
Come on. Tell the truth.
We have to deal with it. Gentlemen, ladies, we in Oprah life class. We getting our life together. Gentlemen, you got to get it together too. Right? So we all have to get it together. But in the sense of those triggers, they will come up. And I remember I've had experiences with different people, because when I was younger, I was bullied. I was made fun of. I was teased. So then, I don't know why, but I just attract people that just want to have conflict with me. And I remember, I'm like, why? Why do I always have to fight? And, I had a neighbor across the street. I call her the cat lady. This lady, she really had me going. There was a cat. My brother gave it water one day, and the cat never went away. We started feeding it. This lady called, you gonna keep the cat? What you gonna do with the cat? Did you feed it today? She drove me crazy. And I thought if I ignored it long enough, it would go away. That lady dragged this thing on for a year and a few months. She would come across the street and close my gate to protect the cat from stray dogs in the neighborhood. She was really, really a pest. And it was literally one day, I came in the yard, I closed my door, she crossed the street and yanked the gate shut. And I was in the house, I burst out into tears. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? It's just a gate. It's just a gate. It's just a gate. What's going on? Everything that happened to me in childhood started coming up. And I was like, she's a bully. Oh, I'm helping you. I just want to help the cat. But she was forcing herself on me. And I had a conversation with a friend. I was like, what is this? Why do I keep attracting these people? I don't understand. And I stopped. I said, you know what? The difference now is I know how to fight back. And I had a conversation with her. I said, you know what? If you're going to come across my yard, you need to let me know first. I was shaking while I was talking to her, but I had the conversation with her. And I had that conversation with her. And now, Cat come over, share custody. We do our thing. Hey, Cat comes visit. She built a little house on her yard. Okay, now it's okay. But I just want a peace of mind. So sometimes you have to have those difficult conversations with people. You have to let people know, hey, this is where I start, this is where you stop. We have to set those boundaries, because I was waiting on her to stop. I had to make her stop. So those are some things. So don't ignore those triggers. When certain people come up, If it's a gentleman come up, use that as practice. Use it as practice. Okay, what do you want out of your life? Where are you trying to go? This and this and that. Use it as practice. That doesn't mean it's going to be your husband, but use it as practice so now you know how to have a conversation. Now you know what to say. Now you know, okay, I'm not dealing with that no more. What Robert did in 2005, I ain't letting you do it to me. So now use it as practice now instead of, coming at this person, No, we have to be able to use those experiences to be able to help us grow. So now the next time, now I'm able to deal with conflict a little better because I've had several tough conversations with people that I didn't necessarily want to have, but I had them. And don't be discouraged. When we think about when you apply for the job that you have that degree for, and one thing that they tell us, what are some things they say when you apply for a job? What disqualifies you? Experience. So you mean to tell me I sat in this classroom for all this time?
Yes.
4 years? Got all these books that I'm never going to use again? Right? And now you're telling me that I don't have experience, or I don't have enough experience, or whatnot? But when you flip it, and you think about it in the sense of the kingdom of God, I want to know what my purpose is. Okay, I'm going to give you some experience.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
What's my purpose, God? I want to know. Oh, you're going to go through some experiences. And with that, now you apply for the job. You have enough experience. Come on, go forth. You have enough experience because nobody wants to listen to someone who hasn't lived it, who hasn't been through it, right? So sometimes even someone has something good to share with you. Sometimes we don't even see you ain't go through nothing. You haven't been, when they start telling you their experiences, now we're on the same level. Now I see where you're coming from. Experience, the job, the purpose, the people you want to minister to. There's certain things, it's in you. A lot of it's already in you. But there's experiences that you have to go through in order to cultivate what's in you. All right, so we have to keep that in mind. So we have to do the work. Some things we'll get over in a few months. You cannot tell me there's something that happened to you years ago, 10, 20 years, you've been holding on to whatever it is, it's going to go away in 2 days. 2 days, you're over it, you're done. For some people, hey, it works. But there's other people, they have to do the work. They have to face the things. They have to do the work. They have to go to counseling, whatever it is. They have to seek their pastor. They have to, go to God and pray and ask God to help them to deal with whatever it is. So just remember something. Why am I not over this yet? Why haven't I got through this yet? Ask God to help you to get through it. But allow Him to help you. We want to do it on our own. But it's the strength of God that will help us. The power of God, the grace of God. The ability to do the things that we don't know how we're going to do it. Pencil yourself in. Okay. Pencil yourself in. This is pretty much, for me, I was a non-factor in my own life. Okay? I was a non-factor in my own life. I made sure everyone was good. I studied people. I knew people. I made sure everyone had everything in line. But I was out of line. I was at the church cleanup, helping everybody else. My room all over the place. You out of line. You out of line. Right? By the time I got home, I'm like, trying to piece it together. Right? I'm at everybody's shindig, potluck, everything. I'm at the wedding, left foot song. Hey, right? You're doing it. And I go home, my 35-page paper still sitting there. Who gonna type it for me? Anybody? No. So now we have to think about it like this. There's certain things you have to take care of. TCB, take care of it. You gotta take care of your own business. Nobody's gonna do it for you. I'm not even talking about going out in ministry or anything like that. Opening up your mail. Y'all had to buy a shredder. It was serious. I had to sit there, go through stuff, like shred it, whatever it is. Take care of your stuff, even like the doctor's appointments, things, the little things. We go through our days, we don't eat. Put some snacks in your bag. Whatever. We don't take our medications, whatever.
set an alarm on your phone. You calling somebody up. Did you eat? You ain't eating yet. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even eating. Guilty, because I like to take care of other people. You know what I mean? And for me, it became a mindset because I'm a caregiver. So I physically take care of someone. I've taken care of my parents for years. So in the sense of taking care of them, I literally put myself to the side. It don't matter what I need. I got to make sure everybody else is good. I got to make sure everybody else is good. And how many here, you're the strong one in your family? Raise your hand. Right? All right, hands down. Okay, you're the strong one in the family. You're the one that everybody depends on. You're the one everybody calls on. You're the one that everybody leans on. Right? So we built this superwoman complex. I can do it all. And it's not to make a man feel any type of way. We had no choice. Who else was going to do it? We had no choice. We had to do whatever we had to do in order to keep the family running, in order to make sure everybody's doing it. And especially depending on the culture you come from, by the time you're 4, you in the kitchen. You got to take care of the house. You have no choice but to do it. You know, I mean, as we get older, ladies, there's something we got to work on. You know, but we're conditioned to hold it down. That's it. And so it's really hard for us to take that superwoman cape off. And literally, the superwoman cape was suffocating me. And I didn't know. It literally was suffocating me. And then and then it was so bad that I started to dislike my gifts. The very gifts that God gave me, I started to dislike them. Because people would call me, oh, Vicky's a good listener. So I'm going to call her. She's going to be my garbage can. I'm going to dump on her. So I'll be on the phone 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours. All I got was like, hello, goodbye. That's it. That's all I got in the conversation. Right? How you doing? Oh, well, you know, I'm doing good. Yeah, girl, let me tell you about. And literally just dumping. And then I go carry that, stressed out about what she's going through. She at the mall chilling. Because she released all of that stuff on me. Right? So then and I'm like, wow, I don't like this about me. Why am I? But that's what God created me to be, to be a good listener. He created me with the gift of mercy to be able to feel people's feelings and everything like that. I didn't know how to start, or I didn't have any breaks. I didn't know it's okay to say no. I didn't know it's okay to say I'm not available right now. I didn't know it was okay to say, well, not right now. And then those same people you start saying no to, the girl you be on the phone with 5 hours, you don't answer your phone one time. Oh, wow, you always busy. You never hear from me. The one time I couldn't answer, and I had to realize I started to create these monsters. So I got to get my power back. I have to get my power back. And I realized that there's some people, all you matter to them is what you could do for them. And then I realized that when, literally I'm taking care of 2 people in and out the hospital, full-time student, doing all of this stuff, right? And then they knew all the stuff that was going on in my life. And they still was like, I know you got a lot going on, but, can you do the Christmas program for us, please? What? And they mentioned all the stuff I had going on in my life. You're such a strong woman of God. Right? You see that little? You strong woman of God. And now my relationship with God might be on the line if I say, and I just realized, now I'm like, dang, do I really love Jesus if I say no? We start thinking. And then I realized, Wow, the fact that you would, you want me to do it, and people are going to ask you, you have the right to say no. It just had me think about it in that certain way. To this person, all I am is hands and feet. My soul doesn't matter. My spirit doesn't matter. It don't matter. I'm just hands and feet to do the job. And when you start feeling like that, you feel violated. You feel like, what's going on? Right? And so when you feel like all you are is an ear, you're an object. Money, that's it. They only call you when they need money. right? And so I had to learn, I got to pencil myself in. I got to do these things. I had to literally learn myself again. What do I like? What do I don't like? Okay, well, this is what Jennifer likes. Okay, put Jennifer out the way. What do I like? What do I like? What are my needs? And it's okay to have them. It's okay to have needs. It's okay to have wants. It's okay to have desires. You know, make sure the motives are pure. But I had to understand why I'm here. And if the only reason why we are friends is so I can do things for you, is this really a friendship? Is this really a friendship, an authentic friendship? So those are the things we have to consider when we're dealing with other people, letting them know, hey, this is where I start, this is where I stop. And also, one of my mentors taught me this, to halt. Everyone say halt. Halt. This is where you stop. When you're hungry, when you're angry, when you're lonely, when you're tired, halt. Because a lot of us don't know where our breaks are. You're hungry, you snapping at people, you need a break. Stop. You're angry, where's that anger coming from? Is it connected to hurt? Because anger is the outward. What's the inward? Right? Now you lonely. Now, shorty, what your name is at the gas station start looking good. Oh, wait. Wait, you lonely. No. Stop. Halt. Halt. See? Right? And when you're tired, take a nap. We have this fear of missing out. I got to be everywhere. We have this fear of missing out on life. If I don't go to this event, I'm going to miss out. If I don't go to this shindig, I'm going to miss out. We have this fear of missing out. Right? And sometimes, yeah, you got to sit down sometimes. Sit down. And it's even worse if God tells you to sit down. He will make you sit down. He will shake everything in your world to make you sit down. We don't get any extra points, y'all, for the amount of ministries we're in. We don't get any extra brownie points in heaven for the amount of stuff we do. One thing, you can wash dishes at the house for the glory of God. At the house, you can clean your house and still give God glory. You're doing it unto Him. We want to do all these things. It's a God complex. We are not God. You are not omniscient, omnipresent. You are human. And until you realize that, people will continue to pimp you out. They will continue to abuse your gifts. They will continue to use you because you're allowing it and you don't know. It's not your fault. You don't know. Some of us don't know. That need to be needed. We want to be needed so bad. How can I help you? And we become whatever anyone wants us to be in order for us to be loved. You don't have to work for love. Period. I don't care what anyone says. You don't have to work for love at all. If you by yourself, if you're not able to do anything for that person ever again, you are enough. You are enough. You don't need no PR campaign. You don't need all this stuff. You are enough by yourself. That's it. Celebrate recess. It's good to have fun. It's good to have fun. And I want us to think about that. We're investing in ourselves. We're young. We're doing our thing. It's good to have fun. It's okay. Focus on the cool things that are going on. Make the necessary improvements. Dance. Shout. Have a good time. I remember when I was the president of this organization back in school. It was Club Haiti 1804. I was the president at the time. And the Greeks, they had homecoming. We had culture night. Right? Hey, all the cultures, we had all the cultures represented on that campus. It was the HBCU. And we had to make sure everybody wanted first place. So the day of that event, can I tell you, it was torture. I wasn't eating. They pushed the time 2 hours earlier. You know, people who were supposed to do certain things, they backed out. So I had to lead the fashion show. I had to do the speech. I was in the dance. I was in everything, right? I was in every little thing. And then, you know, the dancing was fun though. But I was in everything. That was the highlight. But I was in every little thing. And then at the end, first place, Club Haiti 1804. Woo! Everybody's so excited. I need a chair. I need to sit down. It's so hard. Like I wasn't even able to celebrate. I wasn't even able to celebrate. It kicked in a day later. But I just wanted food. I was so tired. And so sometimes when we're planning these events, and we're having a good time. We're so focused on the minor details and getting everything perfect, we miss out. We miss out on what God is doing. Well, 30 people came last time, only 10 people came today. Praise God for the 10. Praise God for the 10. And we're so focused on the numbers. My cousin didn't show up. This one person didn't show up. It was all a failure because this one person didn't show up. They didn't show up, but everything else happened great. Don't miss out on the moment because we're so focused on what didn't happen. Right? So take care of yourself, feed yourself, eat, do those necessary things that you have to do to be 100%. Because in order for you to give 100%, you have to be 100%. So we're giving all of our love, time, energy, and we're on E. You're pulling from your reservoir. Your cup needs to be overflowing. The test is cumulative. So now listen up. This is Life 101, right? The test that we get, the subject that I really didn't like in school was math. I didn't like math. I had to take a course over in math. It wasn't fun. But what I've learned is when you take that class again, sometimes with the same professor, you know their style. You know how they do it. You know you got to do all your homework assignments. You know what you have to do now, right? So take all of those lessons that you learned to bring it into this situation. So the test is cumulative. All the opposition that you're facing right now, all of it, you know, you have the answers, right? And I'm telling you right now, there's some books that you'll never pick up again. You know, there's some books you'll never pick up again, but the Bible, this book, you're always going to need it.
That's right.
The book, your book, the Bible, this book, you'll always need it. You'll always use it. These are the cheat. These are the codes right here. This is what you need in order to function in life. So use the Word of God to help you. Those are the things we have to consider. Take the class over. We keep going around that same mountain again. We'll do it differently this time. If it keeps coming back, you have to learn what you need to learn in order for it to not come back again. So learn what you need to learn and do what you have to do. Count your blessings. I had a birthday that came recently, and I didn't really want to celebrate it, but my friends, my lovely friends, made sure that I celebrated. And one thing that I really wanted to do was I just wanted to go to the beach and read my little blessings from my blessing jar. And sometimes with me, in the sense of condemnation, I don't need Satan to beat me up. I could do it. I'm a really hard critic on myself. But when I actually sat down and read a lot of the things that, happened to me that I thought, wow, this is what God did, or this nice thing that this person said to me, how this person encouraged me, and I sat there and I counted my blessings as opposed to what was going on in my life that I didn't like. It really, because by the time, certain time we get a certain age and we think we have to have everything together. And but it says who? Right? By 25 you should be married, have the kids, everything. But right? So when I counted my blessings, that is when I counted my blessings, I really understood. I really understood what God was doing in my life. And I sat there and I wrote 10 things that I was grateful for. That I want to thank God for. And I sat there and I filled it up again. So then I opened it again for New Year's. That's when I was supposed to open it for the New Year. Well, it is a New Year. It's my birthday. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? So we think about it like, count your blessings. I know we have a lot of things going on that we don't like and we want to change, but count your blessings. And let God teach you. Let's think about it like this to close. Jesus is your teacher. He's the number one teacher, right? The Holy Spirit is your guidance counselor, right? So when you think about it like that, your teacher died on the cross for you. He died on the cross for you. So if we think about the sacrifice that your teacher made for you, he's on your side. Y'all on the same team. If you do what you got to do now, y'all on the same team. And the Holy Spirit will guide you into all truth. He is your guidance counselor. He will reveal things to you. And then, right now, the things that you're going through right now, it is a light affliction compared to the glory to come.
It's light compared to the glory to come. And I remember watching a message from Steve Furtick, and he was talking about when Jesus was on this earth. We want the crowns in heaven, but when Jesus was on this earth, he wore a crown of thorns. He wore a crown of thorns. So when we think about all the thorns we have in our flesh, and God is helping us deal with those things, remember that it's all for God's glory, all those things that are happening in our life. And we're going to get a new gown, right? We're going to get a gown all in white, right? All in white. And those are the things we have to consider. That why am I doing this? Why? Count it all joy when you're going through those trials. It's not fun, but you're not going to be the same person you were coming out of the fire. If we consider that, okay? You're not going to be the same person coming out of the fire. And that is my presentation.
Any questions for Nikki? Anybody have any questions?
Yes. Can you elaborate on the blessing jar? I think a lot of us can learn from that and start incorporating it into our lives. The days that we feel that we haven't accomplished anything, we could look at that jar. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, in the sense of with the blessing jar, when things are happening in your life, the little things, we want the big, huge, colossal thing, the little things. Somebody gave you a compliment today, right? A police officer stopped you, you didn't get the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Praise God for that. Certain things happen, the little small things that happen, and you have to actually sit there for a good while, 10 minutes, whatever, and write down those things that you are, I want to thank God for this. And if we could thank God in the small things, you won't miss it. Some of us miss what God is doing in our lives because we're so focused on the big things.
We get some good stuff today, man.
Yes, we are.
Yes. I was laughing because she was talking about, I did everything. I went to the singles conference. I did 12 steps they said to get a man, keep a man. I read the book. Cosmo Thompson said you got to do this. Then Jesus said you got to do that. I'm probably 32 woman. I ain't even 31. I got all down pat, Lord. Wrote my list down. He gonna be 6'2", 6'3". On some pounds, I don't know. He ain't got no kids, love to smile, love to dance, got good money. God was like, are you any of those things? Let them go ahead and put this list in my pocket. Go ahead and fold that up. Jesus, my bad. Because I was like, God, I am a princess. And he's like, well, my son is a prince. So he stopped that real quick. So ladies, I want to encourage you, any single women in here, that God's son is a prince. So when we go to God with all of these lists of rules and regulations of what we need in that man, check yourself first. Check yourself first, because God will, he will check you. No, because we have this idea in our heads that the men, it ain't about you, it's about us. The wedding day is about us, it's all about us. But that is so not true. And married couples, they lie. In the church, they lie. Oh, it's going to be wonderful when you get married. Everything is going to be just great. That is a lie from the pit of hell. I love my husband. So, okay, let me tell you this. First of all, my list said my man going to be 6 feet tall or taller. God got a sense of humor. My husband 5'6". Let me tell you something. 5'6". He's 5'6". He cute. He cute. Now, thank God for a cute kid. Cute husband, because you mess up the family tree. Had a little weird looking. You can't only marry the anointing. I'm just saying. You don't want a husband. You got to wake up and be like, Shirley, exactly. You want to wake up. You want the anointing and the appearance. I'm just saying. Call me shallow, whatever. I love my husband. You feel me, sis? You want to be proud of your man. You want to walk down and know another. Thank you. You want when you walk outside, another female, they know they don't want to be like. No, I don't want that. You don't want that either. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful because there's a fantasy attached to marriage. Now, marriage is wonderful. It's great. And I'm still growing. I haven't been married long enough to do no counseling sessions with nobody. But I will say this, that it's a lot of work. And because the way my husband and I got together, I wouldn't recommend it to nobody. But I will tell you this, that I got rid of that list and 2 weeks later we met. So God was waiting on me to get over myself. Because, listen, I was Cinderella, honey. I had it all together. I got this together. You got to have that. But, like, you won't even control your eating. You won't even take care of yourself right. But you want somebody that's going to come and spoil you. Spoil yourself first. Do you first. You understand? So get yourself together first. And then when that man comes, you won't be like, oh, my gosh, he opened my door. And then I have all 6 of his kids. He opened my door. Oh, my God. He can have all of me. No. Slow down. Slow down. Build a standard within yourself, for yourself. That way when he come along and he know those little things, those little tricks, you won't be, all extra about it. Because a lot of us, I don't know about you, I love my father. He wasn't in the house with me though, because my father got married when I was 3. So that male example, I didn't have that example of this is what a man does all the time. So when guys came along, the way my mom was, how she was about her life, I already knew. Oh, so what? You open the door. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But that don't mean now that you open the door, I'm going to stay down at your house. Get your life together, bro. You know what I mean? No, we don't operate like that. So marriage is important. Marriage is serious and it's work. You got to be ready to work. So if you say you want a husband, it comes with work. It comes with a lot of work.
Whatever you're looking for in a man, make sure you have it for yourself. Okay? So, if you want a man that works out, you work out. That's what I felt like I needed to come. So if you want a man that works out and is healthy, guess what he's looking for? A woman that works out. So stop trying to find things that you're not. Oh, he better have a degree. You need to have a degree. You see what I mean? So many of us are submitting to a bill payer.
What he said. Yeah, that's what he said.
You are submitting to a bill payer. You're only submitting to him because he pays your bills. So no wonder why you can't find the right one. Many of you looking for a godly man, but when he comes around, he don't see God in you.
I can't even mess around and see that. Man, look, Robin, stop playing with me, man. Look, but seriously, I just feel like it's needed. Because single women, especially in church, we build this fantasy. Girl, when I get married, every time he come home, no, you're not. You're going to be tired. You're going to be tired. Look, get out my face. Get out my... What's make you a sandwich, dude? You've been making your own sandwich for 32 years. All of a sudden, we get married, you can't make your own sandwich? No. Make your own sandwich. I'm saying, if you're going to go through things, we're going to get on... Look, we get on... Men, I didn't realize how spoiled I was and how annoying I was until I got married. Because my husband let me know I will not be manipulated by your tears. Straight up. He told me that. I don't like his honesty all the time. But he's a strong man and he understands. He's like, no, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You have to submit to what is going on because there's a proper order. And as long as I wasn't submitted to that order, stuff was in chaos. And as soon as I said, okay, God, I got to step back. Stuff is chaotic. Let me line up what the head that you've given me. As soon as I lined up, boom, everything going well. We still have work, but everything is working out because now I'm in my right position. So if you ain't ready to submit, if you ain't ready to work, if you're not what you're looking for, you're not ready to get married. This has been brought to you by the Holy Spirit. Oh my gosh. You know what? God is amazing, man. God is amazing. I'm having a great time. It's just, Vicki, that was excellent because I wrote notes and stuff came out. That was excellent. Give her another round of applause, man. I I remember seeing other female comedians doing all these events. I'm like, God, I'm funnier than her. Why I ain't going on these tours? Why ain't nobody calling me? God's like, because I'm working on something over here. Just chill out. Stay in your lane. Know, grow, and flow in your own lane. Amen. Hashtag I am a masterpiece. Y'all hashtagging y'all social media and stuff. Y'all don't look like y'all doing it. Y'all. What's up? Charging your phone? Okay. I'm gonna come by and check. I want to see the pictures in your phone of the selfies that you took and that you posted. I'm gonna come check later. I'm gonna come check. We move right along. We did have did we do the drawing already?
We're not doing it today, but I do need the cards to be filled out so you can be registered.
Okay.
Because the end date is September 30th, and
Okay.
after that, everyone will receive an email. When we receive an email. I hope it's someone from this group.
No, it's gonna be me, first of all. And second of all, y'all ain't gotta turn nothing in because y'all ain't gonna win. Y'all just don't even worry about that. Okay. So now, guess what? We're gonna have a beautiful woman come up, the visionary of this entire event of I Am a Masterpiece. Now, Miss Chrisnatha, did I say your name right? I always say Chrisnatha. I want to make sure that it's right.
Yes.
Okay, Chrisnatha. The Roger. She's so pretty. I got this picture. This I'm like, I don't know. I wonder like, what am I doing? She sent her bio. This is a beautiful picture. I love it. She's an author, motivational speaker, and entrepreneur. She is the founder of I Am a Masterpiece (IAM) movement. As a survivor of an eating disorder, Chrisnatha once struggled with her self-image. Since then, she sees herself through the eyes of the King, amen, and keeps other women to see themselves through God's eyes. Helps other women to see themselves through God's eyes. Thank God I can read, because you imagine having somebody up here who couldn't read, bio that I had to read, but like, here comes Vicky. She overcame that struggle and vowed to always inspire and uplift other women to love themselves. My God, that's important. What a mission. You guys stand to your feet and give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon. I've been waiting all day to speak to you. So welcome to the second annual I Am a Masterpiece experience. Are you guys having a good time? Yeah. Awesome. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you here, and I pray that what I have to share with you will definitely impact your life in a major way. And I just want to take a moment just to thank our vendors for being here today. Make sure you stop by their table and make sure you get information, purchase something, whatever you need to do. Sign up for the raffle. And definitely our speakers that are still here, talk to them as well. I know Vicki has a program for anybody who actually needs help expressing themselves. She can help and guide you with that. So be sure to see her. I'm just going to move this because I just don't like the way it looks. I'm really cute and this is not working with my shoes. Okay, praise the Lord. I want to talk to you today about, well, I want to really let you know basically that you have permission. I really want you to hear this message. You have permission. So I'm going to say it a couple times so it can really sit in your spirit. You have permission. You have permission. You have permission. You have permission. Many of you don't really have the revelation of the fact that you have permission. How do I know? Okay, let's rewind. You guys remember in elementary school, middle school, and high school, right? Whenever you had to use the restroom, what did you have to do? You had to raise your hand. Couldn't just get up and just go in the hall. Why? Because you needed a permission slip or some type of permission form, right? So we needed permission. A culture shock for me was when I got to college, right? I went to FIU in Miami.
Yeah.
Woo! Panthers! Woo! I went to FIU, right? And I was new. I didn't know the rules. And so I had to use the bathroom. So I'm sitting here with my hand up forever, And my professor kept ignoring me. She just kept lecturing. And I'm like, lady, my hand is falling off, right? And I'm like, hello, hello. And then finally she goes, what do you want? And I said, well, I need to use the restroom. I wanted to ask for your permission. And she said, you don't need my permission. Put your hand down, get up, and move. I said, oh, we don't got to ask nobody? And she said, no. She said, you graduated.
Wow, that's good.
Put your hand down, get up, and move, right? But the thing is, many of us are still waiting for someone to say, you're allowed to move. You're allowed to live. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to be great. Well, I came to tell you, you're allowed to move. You're allowed to live. You're allowed to be happy, and you're allowed to be great. Put your hand down, get up, and move. Put your hand down, get up, and move. Put your hand down, get up, and move. Did I say put your hand down? Put your hand down, get up, and move. Now, I don't want to get too deep, right? But there is a story in the good book, right? In John chapter 5, there is a man who was healed at the pool. However, the issue in this story is that this man lay by this pool for such a long time. And Jesus simply asked, do you want to get well? He said, I have no one to put me in. Really? Really? Do you want to write a book? I know no one who's written a book. Really? We live in a day with internet. What is wrong?
Right.
What is wrong? I just want my life to have meaning. I want to do something. What's stopping you? What's the problem? No one's going to believe in me. What's the problem? I don't have no money. What's the problem? I don't know what I'm doing. What's the problem? What's the problem? Do you want to get well? Do you really want your life to move forward? Or do you want to be here next year telling me again that you bored.com, you don't know what you're doing? Listen, it's okay. We all have a journey. But when you have an opportunity to put your hand down, get up and move, you need to take it. Because 12 months from now, you'll be right here at the I Am a Masterpiece conference. Okay, we want to see you here, but we want you to come with a testimony. Okay? Pastor Cherry said something earlier. The minute God spoke to him, told him to write a book, everything went wrong. For those of you that don't know, I'm an author of 2 books, currently writing a 3rd book. Thank you. Now, in 2012, I was working on the 2nd book. Life was good. It was on cruise control. Everything was okay. I had a full-time job. I was getting paid okay. Family was good. Everything was fine. Then one day, I wake up 6:30. I started work at 9 a.m. Woke up at 6:30, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to get dressed for work. Why am I dressed at 6:30 in the morning for work that starts at 9? Listen, when God speaks, listen. It doesn't have to make sense. I was awake. I was alert. I was dressed. I don't know why. I know why now. I didn't know why at the time. But when God speaks, I get up and I do what I need to do. I saw my father go to the restroom. And I said to him, why are you up so early? He said, oh, I just need to use the restroom. Half an hour later, my same dad, who I spoke to, right, was having a seizure. Come to find out, brain tumor, needs immediate surgery right away. Now, this is someone who I've never seen sick in my entire life. I was there, my brother was there, and my mother was there. And we pulled it together. Ambulance came, took him away. I said, I'm going to hold it together until they take him. Once they take him, I can lose it. But right now, I have to be strong, because I'm the strong one, right? And so we get to the hospital, and we're like, what happened? Like, he's never been sick. And they said, well, ma'am, your father has just there's some swelling going on in his head. In his head? What you mean swelling? A headache? Like, what do you mean? No, swelling. I said, oh, wait, what does that mean? We don't know yet. We got more tests to do. Okay. Come back again. Ma'am, we see a tumor. Where? In his head. What do you mean? Like, in his brain? Oh, so what do we do? Do we take a pill? Does this shrink? How do we? Oh, we just have to go in and have brain surgery, and that's just how we do that. How does this happen? Oh, we need to do this right away. So, in the span of about 6 hours, the same man who I saw go to the bathroom, now had a seizure in front of me, has a mass in his brain, and needs brain surgery. So fast forward, my dad had this surgery. Tough time for the family. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know how to handle this, but we moved forward. But during this time, I was writing the second book, and I was like halfway through. And prior to surgery, every day my dad would say, how close are you to being done with this book? Because he really loves the fact that I write. And after surgery, I became a caretaker for him. And I remember saying, listen, Dad, I have to take care of you. We got caregivers and stuff here. You have to learn how to do stuff again. This is overwhelming. So you know what? The book, it wasn't meant to be. My dad said, you started, you have to finish. I said, I don't have time. I got to take care of you every 2 hours. You got to take your medicine. We got to take you to the doctor. I don't have time. I said, Chris, whatever you need to do, this book must get done. If you quit because I'm sick, it's not, you didn't quit because of me. And it wasn't in your heart in the first place. I said, oh my God. So for the next couple of weeks, I stayed up. I didn't sleep much, but I got that book done. Because I had to talk with God. I said, God, the assignment you put on my life is not about what happens during the course of the journey. It's about the assignment. So regardless of what happens, I have to complete the assignment, right? And I say all that to share with you, there's a price to purpose. There is a price to purpose. That's a tweetable moment right there. I just want you to know that. But there's a price to purpose. I don't want to stand up here and you see this beautiful artwork and you see the colors in here and for you to think that you don't have to pay anything. There's sacrifice attached to the calling on your life. And so I encourage you all to say yes to the Lord. But I don't want you saying yes with the assumption that nothing bad is going to happen. Because sometimes I'm like, did I miss God? Like, what's going on? Why is everything going wrong? Problems on your job, relationships don't work, this and that. You're like, what's wrong? I thought I'm in the perfect will of God. You are. That just doesn't mean you won't have trials. No one in my family has ever done what I'm doing and what I'm going to do. Nobody. They're amazing people. But this is all new for everyone. This is my brother. I don't think you guys know, but this is my brother right here. Hi, Max. That's my big brother, one of my best friends. I said I wanted to write a book. Nobody in our family writes books. I want to speak. We don't do that. So they're looking at me like, I don't know, but if you say you hear from the Lord, okay. And I don't know what I'm doing, right? But I had a calling. And I answered the call. And I'm encouraging you to answer the call. Don't send God's call to voicemail. Answer the phone. No silent, no vibration, none of that. Answer the phone. Don't send God's calling to voicemail. What I want you all to understand is that if you quit every time something goes wrong, you'll never accomplish anything. Like, things will go wrong. Over the course of this event even being planned, things went wrong. As of next week, to be quite honest, I don't have a job. But guess what? I said, I'm not canceling this event. I'm paying every invoice. I'm doing everything I have to do. And God will make sure the rest gets taken care of. I have no problems. I have no worries. take care of God's business, he takes care of your business, okay? I want you all to know that you have permission to get past your fears. You have permission to make your dreams a reality. You have permission to leave bad relationships. You have permission. You may think you invested in me, but I'm telling you, if you take everything that you learned today, it will literally transform your life. It's done it for me. It can do the same for you. Statistically, 100% of the shots you don't take don't go in. Statistically, 100% of the shots you don't take don't go in. What does that mean? Basically, if you sit around and do the same things, you'll get the same results. You have to do something. There will always be a what if. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? You know how many times I was like, I need to take care of something. How much? I can't do it. This week alone, Thursday night, I had to park the car, pull over and cry because people were calling, texting, PayPaling. I cannot be there. How much money should I send you? Who does that? Like, I'm just so overwhelmed. I was like, I had to catch myself because I started turning money down. So I had to say, Chris, that is not wisdom. So I had to say, listen, No, but people were so supported. And it's not about money, but I just want to just share that to show you that when you step out and do what God has called you to do, he truly will make provision. Because sometimes we're like, I'm being honest, like, I went over this expense spreadsheet for this thing, and I'm like, I didn't know I had all that money. But I paid everything.
That's right.
Mediocrity is not in your DNA. Mediocrity is not in your DNA. I want to talk to you a little bit about this movement. I am a masterpiece movement. That's pretty amazing, right?
Yes, it is.
And I am a masterpiece maven. Chris, what is that? I'm glad you asked again. I help women discover the masterpiece within. And essentially what I do is I help to pull out that piece of heaven that's already been deposited on the inside of them so they can begin to operate in their purpose. Now, can all our I Am a Masterpiece sisters stand up, please? Because I just want everybody to see how fine you look, how amazing you look, right? Y'all give them a hand. Don't they look good? They look good. Thank you, ladies. They are fabulous on the inside and out. Some of them are not here right now. I'm so proud of y'all. So proud of y'all. Louie, you were at the last I Am a Masterpiece event. And at the end, right, Louie goes, I need to talk to you. And, she kind of came kind of strong. I was like, she mad, she good, she happy. Like, I wasn't sure, right? And she came like, listen. And I'm like, do you like me? Do you not? I wasn't, I'm like, we good? But she's like, listen, I need to get my life. I was like, okay, we can do that. We met and she just, this is what I need to do. I was like, okay. And she kind of was like, okay. It's like, okay. And she was like, oh. I was like, all right, let's get to work. And I said, there'll be times you won't like me. But I do promise to push you so you can prepare your life forward. And I'm so proud of her, because if you guys know Ludi, if you don't know her, you need to know her, as well as all the other ladies, because her life has completely changed in a matter of, 9 months. I'm like, who is this woman? And we have so many amazing ladies that are doing incredible things. And we're growing, but not because we're just growing, but because people need this. So much we live in fear. It's like, oh, I can't do anything else. Propel forward into what God has called you to do. And then we have our monthly I'm a Masterpiece Inner Circle. It's $75 a month, and you also get a monthly Masterpiece plan, okay? And if you just want to be part of the Inner Circle only, that's $50 a month. So if you're interested, be sure to see me or one of the lovely ladies who stood up afterwards, and we can get to work, because it is time to give yourself permission. So once again, I am encouraging everyone here, put your hand down. Stop asking people, is it okay? Yes, it's okay to be amazing. Yes, it's okay to answer the call. Yes, it's okay to be great. Yes, it's okay to take risks. Yes, it's okay to be all that God has created you to be. But you first have to put your hand down, get up, and move. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I just truly pray that your life has been impacted in a great way. Thank y'all. I just love y'all. Is Natasha not amazing? Is she not incredible? Listen, she had me laughing so hard before I came up here, my stomach was hurting. So I was like, I have to be all serious and deep with you, and then my stomach was hurting. But no, Natasha, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys connect with her, book her. She's incredible. And she's a woman of integrity, so that's even more amazing, right? Robin, are you still in the building somewhere? He just ran out. Okay, but we have Winfred Porter, right? If you guys did not get a chance to connect with Winfred, see me. I actually took his money on a mission class in January. It helped me so much. I really created a budget. I had my spreadsheet going, and the envelope system, everything. It was incredible. So I took that course. So I encourage you to sign up with him and his wife as well. And Vicki, if you have, you want to talk to her a little bit about her expression program. She is amazing. Was she not amazing? And we have our vendors. We have some C coupons that we want to present everyone here as a gift for being here. And so they're coming on up. Everybody's like, what's a C coupon? It's a C coupon. SEA. By the way. SEA, okay? A C coupon. And so hold on tight to it. Take advantage. One of the things about investing in yourself is taking trips. My family didn't take trips, not because they didn't want to, it's because they couldn't. So I was very intentional the last few years, making sure every year I took a really big trip. So I've been to cool places like Puerto Rico. I've been to Mexico a couple times. I just came from Europe earlier this year. And I had a great time. I got to spend my birthday in Paris. And so I just encourage you guys to really, yeah, it was amazing. They eat so much bread, though. And they're so skinny. And I was like, I tried bread, but yet I'm not as skinny. So I don't understand what's going on in Paris. But they walk a lot, so maybe, But, so yeah, a lot of bread and cheese and wine. But, yeah, so invest in yourself. Go on trips, right? And we have Miss Organo Gold herself. So hopefully you guys have visited her table. If you guys have not ever tasted Organo Gold, it is incredible. Okay, so make sure you do that. Kaylee, can you grab, a shirt for where? But we have some I'm a Masterpiece t-shirts. If you want to just sport I'm a masterpiece. We have some that say I'm a masterpiece, I am enough, I am not afraid, and I am worth dying for. Because you are worth dying for. Christ died for you, right? And so if you really just want to make a statement and get you a t-shirt, we have a couple different sizes, amazing and bright and fun colors. They're $15 each, so you could see us at the table. What was I missing? I don't want to let y'all go, like. Yes.
I just wanted to recommend 2 books.
You wanted to? I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make a comment about
Yes, go ahead. Yeah. You can take it.
No, just as we were talking this weekend, I came across this amazing book. It's called The Power of Femininity and Rediscovering the Art of Being a Woman. It's by Michelle McKinney-Hammond. I got this book it's a penny on Amazon, but I mean, I've read like the first 3 pages, and you'll be jumping up and down because it's full of wisdom, revelation, it's powerful, and yeah, totally recommend it. That one, and then Let Me Be a Woman. And just in line with what Robbins was speaking about and how we were speaking about, marriage or being a single woman, I think that these would be a great in conjunction. So that's just a little sharing.
Awesome. Thank you. Do we have any questions? Any questions about anything? Any comments? Anything you want to clear? What was the first book?
The Power of Femininity. Like purple.
And I just left the I'm a Masterpiece seminar. I am truly blown away. I'm blessed that, I'm just blessed. The speakers were phenomenal. You need to be there next year. You would not regret. I am a masterpiece.
I took a lot away from this. This was a phenomenal experience. And I am a masterpiece. I am the master's piece. Thank you, Chrisnatha. You did a phenomenal job. I'll be here next year supporting you.
So I will take those things, run with it, and apply them to my life as needed. I thank God for you again. I truly enjoyed it, and I am a masterpiece.
Yes, so I had a wonderful time today. I am a master. I learned so much that I have the permission to do whatever I want to do, be whoever I want to be without asking anyone for permission. And I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I just love it for that. And thank you so much. Love you. I am a masterpiece.